Welcome to our channel. Today we want to share an article named How Does GenAI Affect Trust in Teacher-Student Relationships? Insights from Students' Assessment Experience. This article discusses issues around imbalance in teachers' and students' use of generative AI tools. Students are asked to declare the use of AI in their work, but similar transparency is not usually required of teachers in terms of how they use it in assessment. This represents a significant issue for higher education teachers to address, given that relationships between teacher and students are central to teaching and learning. Hoy and Cherlyn defined trust in education as an individual's or group's willingness to be vulnerable to another party based on the confidence that the latter party is benevolent, reliable, competent, honest, and open. This willingness to be vulnerable can extend in both directions. For example, students being willing to admit mistakes to their teacher, and teachers showing willingness to seek constructive feedback from students without defensiveness. Scholars believe that these 5 features are relevant to building trust in higher education assessments, such as benevolence and competition in feedback delivery, reliability in judgment-making, honest communication of strengths and weakness, and opening about assessment process and criteria. Trust is a key factor in building a strong and positive relationship between teacher and students. It plays a big role in motivating students and improving their academic performance at school. Trust also helps students feel safe, manage things better, and feel connected with their schools. Teachers also gain a lot from trusting relationship with their students. Those who have low trust in their students are often experiencing burnout. So trust is important for everyone involved in the learning process. With the emergence of GenAI, the relationship of trust between university teachers and students in assessment has become more nuanced. So this study used a qualitative research method to see how 11 students, who are both university students and future teachers at an Asian teacher training school, engaged in this construct of trust in the AI-mediated assessment context. This study employed interview and a mind map creation approach to collect data. First, the author conducted initial interview to gather basic information about the participants and their experience with using GenAI in assessment. Next, the participant created a mind map focused on the theme, trust in building between teacher and student, the use of GenAI in assessment. Finally, the author conducted follow-up interview to understand what the mind map showed and asked open-ended questions to explore the participants' thoughts and experience more deeply. Through open coding and case studies, this research came up with 4 main things related to how students build trust with their teachers, including how to use AI, how to recognize AI, how to build relationships, and how to cope with teachers' expectations. The research shows that all students express concern about the use of AI in assessment and academic misconduct. Students mentioned being wrongly accused of using AI in someone's assignments, which lead them to become defensive and choose not to use AI in their work. The university's GenAI policy haven't provided enough practical guidance, and the lack of clear instruction from teachers. Students are unsure whether they are overstepping the boundary in using AI to complete assignments. When teachers judge AI-mediated assignments, the unclear standard makes students hesitant to be fully honest about the use of GenAI with teachers. Some students point out that teachers' stereotype about GenAI and some of the students should also be addressed. The large size and structure of university courses often makes students feel anonymous to their teachers. This makes the challenge of trust between student and teacher has become even more difficult with the emergence of AI. Students felt that because teachers don't know them well, they might be more likely to assume the worst of them. Students also expected that teachers should have a deeper understanding of AI, which will be more effective in addressing the teacher-student trust crisis. First, there needs to be two-way transparency between teacher and student regarding the use of GenAI in assessments. Currently, transparency mostly comes from students, who are required to disclose AI assistance in their work and even submit check log for accountability. But the same level of transparency is not achieved on the teacher's side. This imbalance can make students feel monitored and under constant surveillance. When teachers are equally transparent, it can lead to a low-trust environment where students feel unsafe to explore or discuss their use of AI. Therefore, as scholars argued over a decade ago, it is still important today to foster trust by helping students understand the different aspects of assessment. This includes clarifying the assessment criteria and explaining some of the implicit assumptions in the review process. Teachers could be subjectified less as educators but more as gatekeepers to avoid academic misconduct. The way teachers communicate GenAI policy to students in a watchful tone may further exacerbate their fears and breed an atmosphere of distrust. When teachers understand AI better and avoid bias, they can build better trust with their students. Previously, trust was mostly about how well teachers knew their subjects. Now, with AI, it is important to think about what students need when creating training programs for university teachers. This study highlights key factors that influence teacher-student relationship in universities, including two-way transparency, the communication of policies, and teacher AI competence. It suggests that GenAI brings new complexity to the trust between students and teachers. To address this, we might expand the discussion of GenAI beyond a functional focus